Hello friends, today I will discuss the numerical problems on the Thevenin's theorem. The given problem is like this. So here this is 10 ohms, this is 8 ohms, this is 8 ohms, this is 6 ohms. And here there is a resistance called 5 plus J4 between the terminals called X and Y. And the applied voltage is 10 volts like this. So now it is required to know the current flowing through the 5 plus J4 ohms resistor, means between X and Y, using the Thevenin's theorem. So to apply the Thevenin's theorem for this circuit, there are three steps to be followed. Number one is, first we have to remove the element 5 plus J4 between X and Y, that is open circuit this resistance or impedance like this. Then redraw the circuit. Then we get like this. The next step is, so we know here there are two parallel branches. This is one branch, this is another branch. And both are connected across the supply called 10 volts. So now calculate the current flowing through this branch and through this branch. If you look at this branch total resistance is 16 ohms, and here also the total resistance here also 16 ohms. In fact, so here the current that flows here and the current that flows here will be same, means they share the total current equally. So now let us assume that the current flowing through this branch is I1, whereas this branch is current flowing is I2. So to get the current I1, so divide 10 volts with this 10 plus 6. 10 plus 6 means 16 we get at 0 degrees. So applied voltage is 10 volts. So then once we simplify it, we get 0.625 amperes at an angle of 0 degrees. Similarly, for calculation of I2, so we know the applied voltage is 10 volts and this branch resistance is 8 plus 8. So I2 is nothing but 10 divided by 8 plus 8 means it is 16 again. So once we simplify that, we get again 0.625 amperes at an angle of 0 degrees. Now, to get the voltage across X and Y, so we have to calculate the voltage across this resistance, that is 6 ohms resistor. And similarly, we have to calculate the voltage across this 8 ohms resistor. Then after that, we have to take the difference of the voltages across 6 ohms and 8 ohms. So that we can see here, Vxy is nothing but it is V Thevenin, and that is nothing but 6i1 minus 8i2. We have calculated i1 and i2. We substitute those values here. That is 6 into 0.625 minus 8 into 0.625. Then we get 1.25 at an angle of 0 degrees volts. This is called the Thevenin's voltage. The next step is calculation of the Thevenin's resistance. To get the Thevenin's resistance, short circuit the voltage source, that is 10 volt source like this, and open the resistance between X and Y like this. Then rearrange the circuit, then we get like this. This point and this point are one and the same, so we draw circuit like this. That means this 10 ohms and 6 ohms are in parallel. Similarly, 8 ohms and 8 ohms becomes in parallel. And this combination are in series with each other across X and Y. So that we can calculate, and we call that impedance or resistance as Thevenin's resistance. So that is with respect to x and y, that is zxy is equal to z Thevenin. So 10 into 6 divided by 10 plus 6 plus 8 into 8 divided by 8 plus 8, then we get 7.75 ohms. Next step is drawing the Thevenin circuit in series with the load, that is 5 plus J4 ohms. So VThevenin we calculated as 1.25 volts like this, and that should be in series with the RThevenin, that is we are getting here 7.75 ohms, and this up to here this is called the Thevenin's equivalent circuit. Because we want to know the current flowing between X and Y, we have to connect that impedance between these terminals X and Y, that is ZL is equal to 5 plus J4. Now it is a simple series circuit, so we can find out what is the current flowing through this load resistance or impedance ZL, that is nothing but I is equal to V Thevenin divided by R Thevenin plus ZL. So once we substitute the values here, that is V Thevenin is 1.25 divided by RThevenin is 7.75 plus ZL is 5 plus J4. Then after simplification we get 0.094 at an angle of minus 17.4 degrees amperes. So let us take another problem on Thevenin's theorem. So the given problem is like this. For the following circuit, find the voltage between terminals X and Y and the equivalent resistance between terminals X and Y. So if you look at this circuit, so we have the current source called 2 amperes, and this 2 amperes is in parallel with the two branches like this. So now let us calculate the current flowing through this, which we call as I1, whereas the current flowing through this branch we call as I2. And we know the current divider rule, get the current flowing through this. So we write like this. Current flowing I1 is equal to the input current, that is current source current. It's 2 amperes into opposite arm resistance, that is 2 plus 3, divided by sum of the parallel branch resistors, that is 3.3 plus 2 plus 3 plus 2. So we get 2 into 5 divided by 10. So then we get 1 ampere. Similarly, I2 value also we can get like this using the current divider rule. That is input current is 2 amperes into opposite arm parallel resistor, that is 3 plus 2. So divided by sum of the parallel branch resistors, that is 3 plus 2 plus 3 plus 2, that is after simplification we get the 1 ampere. So in fact, if you look at this, this branch and this branch have the same resistance. So automatically they share the current equally. So that is what we got here, 1 ampere, 1 ampere here. So having known this, then we can find out what is the voltage across X and Y. That is we call as Vxy. So to get that voltage, we have to calculate the voltage drop across this and the voltage drop across this. Then the difference of that will give the V Thevenin, that is called Vxy, that is nothing but 3I1 minus 2I2. So because I1 and I2 values are same, that is 1, 1. So we substitute those values 3 into 1 minus 2 into 1. Then we get the 1 volt as the Thevenin's voltage with respect to X and Y terminals. Similarly, to get the R Thevenin with respect to the X and Y terminals, so here the source is current source. The current source should be open circuited. Once we open circuit it, we get the circuit like this. Now, if you look at this circuit between X and Y, this 8 and 2 are in series, and this 3 and 2 are in series, and this combination and the above combination are in parallel, so that we can write like this. This is 3 ohms, this is 2 ohms, so here this will be 5. Similarly here 2 plus 3, so it is in 5. So 5 ohms and 5 ohms are in parallel with each other. Then the resultant resistance between X and Y, which we call as R Thevenin, is nothing but 5 in parallel with 5 means 2.5 ohms we get. So for the given problem, we found out what is the V Thevenin and also R Thevenin. Now let me consider the numerical problems on the Norton's theorem. So before I discuss the Norton's theorem, let me define the Norton's theorem definition. Any linear bilateral circuit consisting of resistors, voltage sources, current sources can be replaced by a single current source in parallel with a Norton's equivalent resistance with respect to the terminals under consideration. So that is, if we have a complex circuit and that whole thing can be replaced with respect to the terminals under consideration with a current source called IN, and in parallel with that we represent a resistor called the Norton's resistor that is also equal to the Thevenin's resistance. So let us take an example. So this is the 20 volts supply connected to the 2 ohms resistor like this. Here 2 ohms and here is 4 ohms. And to find the Norton's equivalent circuit with respect to the A and B terminals, so first open circuit the terminals A and B, and then short circuit the voltage source, so that we can find out what is called the Norton's equivalent resistance. So then we get the circuit like this. Once we observe this 2 ohms and this 2 ohms are in parallel, so the resultant will be 1 ohm, and that resistance between terminals A and B we call as Norton's resistance. Then next step is find the Norton's current by short circuiting AB terminals. So these are the AB terminals. We short circuit like this, and whatever current that flows we call as Norton's current, and the rest of the circuit is as it is. So if you look at this, this is in parallel with this. This is a short circuit, so automatically the whole current, whatever supplied by the 20 volts, will also flow through this IN, this AB terminals, but no current will flow through this. So we can see here IN is equal to 20 volts divided by 2 plus 2 in parallel with 0, because this resistance is 0. So then we get 20 by 2 is the current that flows. That means total current will flow, that is 20 by 2, that is equal to 10 amperes. So this current we call as 10 amperes or Norton's current. Next step is drawing the Norton's equivalent circuit. Norton's equivalent circuit is nothing but Norton's current in parallel with the Norton's resistance. So Norton's resistance already calculated 1 ohm between terminals A and B. Similarly, the Norton's current with respect to terminals A and B also calculated as 10 amperes. So now we represent that in the equivalent circuit, that is like this, 10 amperes in parallel with Norton resistance 1 ohm. Now look at the problem here. So for the following circuit, find the Norton's equivalent circuit with respect to terminals A and B like this. This is a AC circuit and the applied voltage is 25 volts. The impedance here is 3 plus J4, and here 4 minus J5 is this is the impedance, and we need to know what is the Norton's equivalent circuit with respect to terminals A and B. The first step is short circuit the terminals A and B so that we can calculate what is the Norton's equivalent current flowing. So once we short circuit it, so automatically no current will flow through this 4 minus J5. So that means whatever current flows through this 3 plus J4, same current will flow through this. Or in other words, whatever current is supplied by the 25 volts supply that flows through this short circuited circuit or the branch. So then we can calculate IN is equal to 25 divided by total resistance, that is 3 plus J4, because this resistance, this and this are in parallel. 0 in parallel with anything is 0, so that is why here we don't put anything in the denominator. So we get 3 plus J4 plus 0, so 0 do not have any significance. So we calculate like this. 25 divided by 5 at an angle of 53.13 degrees. So once we simplify this, we get 5 amperes at an angle of minus 53.13 degrees. Now, the next step is calculation of the Norton's resistance. So for getting the Norton's resistance, short circuit the voltage source, then redraw the circuit by opening the terminals A and B like this. So then we see here 3 plus J4 in parallel with 4 minus J5. So that will become the Norton's equivalent impedance. So they write like this: 3 plus J4 in parallel with in parallel with 4 minus J5. So once we simplify it, we get like this: 3 plus J4 into 4 minus J5 divided by sum of those impedances. Then we get 3 plus J4 plus 4 minus J5. So after simplification, we get in the numerator 32 minus J1. In the denominator, we get 7 minus J1. So after further simplification, we get the Norton's impedance as 4.46 plus J 0.78 ohms.